Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to our trading room. We're live on YouTube for traders, for our viewers who are going to be watching this on YouTube. And let's start. We have news coming up at 4:30. That is in about 40 minutes from now. We have news on the USD. So we will be looking at all the dollar pairs very carefully. And we will put trades on. So once again, good afternoon and welcome. Let's start with the trades that we had on this morning and what happened to them, and trades that you might have taken this morning as well. So we are in this one. We're in the dollar CAD. I think if you're in the euro CAD, if you're in this trade, you can either put it to break even and keep it, or you can close the trade, put an entry above the top. Because it's the same trade, except it's not going right now. You may want to take it off, take break even, put an entry above the top. It's the same thing, right? Not break even. You have a very small profit. Put it above the top. If you still want to keep it, put it to break even, and that's the worst that could happen to you. Pound CAD, pretty much the same thing. I don't know if you're tagged in it, depending on where you put the end shutter. If you put the end shutter above the top, you're not tagged. We keep the end shutter there above this one now. So the assumption is that this was all in consolidation. This here was all in consolidation, and it's going. So that's a buy setup. We have news coming out on the USD that might influence everything, right? It's only the USD pairs we trade, but it could still influence everything, which means there could be movements and everything that might, more or less go. So you have to be careful with any trade or any orders. You're going to put them now before the news, right? Aussie Swiss was a sell setup. It's still not there as yet, not active. Selling within this was useless. It didn't really move very much. New Zealand CAD was a buy, which is go with all the CAD pairs. If you're in this one, I would say take the profit and put an entry above the top, because it looks like it could pull back. Again, if you want to go for the very long run, put it to break even, stay with it. Sorry, guys. CAD Swiss. If you're in the sell, stay with this one, put it to positive, stay with it. This has a lot to go. See? So 4 trades, all positive. Some of them you can take profit if you want. Some you can just wait. You can stay with them and wait, basically. See, that's trading. That's what we get. Let's go. Now, trades that you could have got in. Those are trades that we were in, trades that you could have got in. Silver, we were looking for a flag. Well, it's making a flag here, not a flag for the upside. So I'm not sure this is ready for a sell, but then in news, we'll be looking for a sell in silver. We'll be looking for a sell on gold. Gold is making a flag here. If this doesn't go back up, we remember we wanted to break this top. So the hope is that it goes, break the top, and then drop. Because without that, we'll have to sell somewhere under here and hope that it actually goes. Euro. Okay, so we're looking for a buy setup. Euro didn't go the way I expected to go, which means we wanted it to come down, go back and come down. It's just going sideways. Literally, it's just going sideways. So it came here. Let's assume that is a flat. I'll take this one out, assuming this was a flat. So let's assume this here was a flat, like 1, 2, 3. We're going back up, which is me going back up for this one. I'll you just have to pull them a little more this way. Right, this one. See, this one is going back. That is the equivalent of this. So if this goes and break the top, it doesn't have to go very far. It could just go break the top. That's an up move. Then we still have to get this down move. Right, we still have to get this. So at some point, it still has to come back here before we actually get the up move. See? So at some point, we have to get this. Let me see if I can set that up a little more there. Come back here, give you this flat. Sorry, let me just see if I can put the flat on. We're looking at a possibility for this. And then upside. So let's see if we get that trade, right? We don't have any trade set up in it. There's nothing to go there. Same thing with the pound. This one came a little lower, but it could still be this. I don't think it's this one because we don't have anything for this. So this up move is the equivalent of this right now happening. It just has to go there, then it could come down here and we could get this flat. And then we're looking for the buy setup. So a little more, if you're in the trade, if you bought it, you have to really put that at break even. It might just go a little more, but then we could get a sell and then we could get a buy. Now, in the news, we're going to buy it regardless, because what if this is a contracting flat? And that is possible, this piece here, right? This is a contracting flat. This is a 1, 2, 3, and this takes off. So in the news, we wouldn't be trading for this down move. We'll be trading for the up move. If the down move happens, let it happen. we'll only be going for the up move, because in the news, you're looking for a huge momentum, not 15, 20 pips. It has to move a lot. If it's not moving a lot, then we wouldn't take it. Bless you, Vic.
Oh,
Get well.
sorry.
Get
Sorry,
well.
I'm muted.
Don't forget, get well. Yeah. So, okay. We're here in the Aussie. This dropped quite a lot. Aussie, as it stands, this as it stands, could drop, right? We were expecting a downside. Now, should this go back up, I'm not sure we're going to have a really good trade there. So most likely we'll be going for a sell, because the buy just needs to break this top and then it could still drop. So Aussie would be a sell setup. So Euro will look for a buy. Pound will go for the buy. Aussie, we're going for the sell. New Zealand, well, it's going back up, but it hasn't met where we wanted it to go. As expected, it's going up, but I don't think the buy is a great idea. We'll give it a try. Maybe we go for the buy, because this is so low that the upside is very possible, right? The upside is possible here, that break this top and then we'll see. Big picture, I think it's going to come down. So if we don't get the buy, which means if it doesn't tag us, instead it drop, we wait for it to drop beyond the low and then look for the buy sell. The downside to this is limited. As far as we know right now, it's limited. It could go a lot, but structurally, when you're looking at this, even in the daily or the 4 hour, this is like the bottom of this whole thing, right? It's not, it doesn't mean that is the bottom, but we made a new low. So technically, this is the bottom, unless you get a drop, and unless you get another drop and another drop and another drop. Technically, this is the low. So basically, we're saying we don't know that that is the low, because this is not going up the way we normally expect the impulse to go. But then if you come back and you look at this one didn't really go up impulsive, right? And since we're in a flat, I'll go back to the 4 hour so you can see that piece more on the 4 hour. That wasn't really an impulsive move to the upside. See, this didn't, I mean, if you were here and we were trading this, I think at some point in time, we thought that thing could drop. Right? So it wasn't really impulsive. It was going up really slow. So the equivalent of what is happening right now, I think so. You can make an argument is exactly what's happening here. The only exception is that we've got a huge expanding flat in the middle. So we'll go with the buy and we'll see where that takes us. For my traders, you know where to put your intrader. It would have to be a little higher. You know how to do that. And the target would be, if it goes, it has to come and break this top. Right, that would be where we'll be trading it towards. Yen, dollar yen. Well, perfect, yen went up. Now here's the question. Is it going to drop? One more, then go. Is it good? So when you go into 15 and you look at it, it's not exactly going down really fast, right? It's kind of going down slow. But this one also went down slow. It dropped, it pulled back, it dropped, it pulled back, but then it actually dropped. So that pull back and this pull back and this pull back makes sense. I think we go for this sell, right? The bigger picture is upside. We know that, but basically you're still in a flat, right? So even if you're going up there, the max you could probably go if it's not a running flat is this top, right? So you put an entry here. This top would be right here, but it's a big trade. But what if it's actually dropped? That is a big trade we don't want to miss too. So you can use it both ways. You can make an option to say, well, I would prefer to sell. Right. So that is at 83, that's 85. So you can go, I don't know, 65, stay away a little from the price because of the news. So you can put an entry there for a single drop back to the bottom. And then, right, if this drops, there's going to be something like this, maybe like this. The chances are we might retag the low and then go back up, right? That is the sell part of it if you want. If you want to say, let's ignore the sell. If it drops, it drops. There's not a big risk to reward. But what if this actually goes up from here? The risk to reward is much more. So you can put an entry here. I think that would be safe enough, right? That's more than safety enough, right? So you put an entry above the top. And what we are saying is if instead of dropping this thing, it looks like a flag, right? It doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily this flag, but it looks so. So you could actually do this and then do that. This would be a better trade with a stop here. Then if we put a stop here, we put an entry here, and then we go for this trade. So you can make the choice as to which side you want to put that in. Can this go up and this be all this here be all the correction? I think that would be more than enough for the correction. And internally, we could always look at this pattern. You could always make an argument as to whether all of this here is part of that flat, like this. I think if you really look at it that important, so you get 1, 2, 3, and that could go. Right. So the combination of how you're going to look at this pattern could vary. I do believe it's going to drop first. Somehow I do believe this thing is going to drop first then though. So we can look for a buy or a sell. Put it both ways. My traders, you decide, it's, use it as a counter for them. This one is coming down really nice. If anybody got this trade, you did excellent. And you can decide what to do with that. Either take the profit or put it to break even, because the move down is only this much before we go back up. Right? We're not expecting a big move down. We're expecting this running flat, which is what we saw this morning, come here, then go back down, break this low. Not break the low, sorry, come back to this low, and then go, because we're still looking at this as a possible running flat. We haven't changed that views yet. So this could still go up. What we were expecting is an up move from here. So the sell is a small trade, but the buy, if you put an entry there, I really wanted to break the low before we buy it. So if you're in the sell, we still have enough time for it to go break the low, and then we look for the reversal, see if we get a sell setup, a buy setup. CAD is a little surprised. It went higher than we expected. We think we're going to make a running flat in here, but instead it broke the top, right? It broke out of this. We broke the top, but it didn't go very far. So two things, expanding flat. That's one option. We can make an argument for this to being an expanding flat. And this comes down here and then go back up. Or we can make an argument that this is all the correction. This has a contracting flat in it. Not exactly contracting flat, but you can make that argument. And this is 1, 2, 3. And this is going to go up. CAD big time, downside. We're still expecting one more of this to the downside. We don't have the perfect setup here. See, it's coming down, and it's coming down really slow on the 15. On the 1 hour, it's good, on the 15, it's really slow. So if you're going to sell it, you'll have to put it like, I don't know, take out this, put the entry for the seller. The entry for the buy is clear, it's above the top. So I'm going to put that entry for the buy. We're going to take this out, and you could use it for an entry for the sell, which means you choose which one you want. The sell, I think the sell has more risk than the buy, but it's a better trade if it goes. So that is 37.55. You could go somewhere around 35. You want to stay away from the price a little. So let it prove it can drop, and if it drops, the trade to the downside is huge. That is for the dollar pairs that we have dollar news coming up. We will repeat this as we come closer to the time. We still have 30 minutes. We'll repeat it when we come closer to the time. All right, so let's go now and look at trade setups that we had. Euro Oz, we were looking for a buy setup. Yep, I think remember I said if we get a flag here, we could trade. Well, we do have a flag. Now, you may want to be careful of putting this flag in front of the news, but I think I like it still. If this takes off, it's going to go. If it drops some more, and I don't see any reason why this can't drop here again, we spoke about that this morning, we would look at this as a running flat, right? Like this drop, that is 1, 2, 3, come back here and then go. But if this goes, that is okay. We'll just look at this as all the correction. And that is okay. It's not a really big move, so it could be all the correction. So we're going to go with a buy setup from possible buy entry to buy setup. Big picture upside. See? Euro New Zealand. Okay, this is coming down back. So when you get, I'll take this off. When you get it coming down back so much, what you're thinking is that, well, there's probably one more down. Right? This could probably come one more, retest this low, and then go back up. I don't see which one it will be, because you could also make an argument for this to come here and go back up. Neither of those are happening. And since we have news coming up, we'll leave it. After the news, we'll come back and we'll trade it. Euro yen. Okay, if you got tagged in that, you possibly, if you had that entry, or you will be tagged, use this to close it in front of the news. And can we make the assumption that this actually finished the move there and we're going down? I don't think so. I think we're still going up. So this might still kind of like and go up. So if you got tagged, take it off a break even, we'll look for another entry. You're a cat. You may want, if you're in a trade, you may want to take the profit off. You should have taken it at the top here and put the entry. I think I explained this earlier, how and why we do what, right? So that's a good trade setup. The rest, I don't see anything else marked. Let me see. Euro Swiss. Isn't this magic? It's coming down. Well, then if it follows, or if this move came down as we expected, what is the next move we expect? We expect it to come and break the low and go right back up. So we've got this. It's probably going to come here and then up, so we can look for the buy setup. Hereupon, okay, it's coming down with a flag. That's not a good sign. Because if they do this, that's upside. So let's wait. If it becomes a bigger flat, we'll go with the trade. Pongos, yeah, this is really slow, but we're getting a buy setup here. I think we might be getting something here. See, like 1, 1, 2, 2. This would have to come here, come back here, and then go. One more down move. So let's see, we're in the 15. The way I see this is that this is sharp. This is sharp. This is corrective. This is sharp. This is sharp. Do this. So if you haven't seen this pattern, take a look again. There's possibility for that. Can we buy it right now? You can, but you'll have to live with the stop under the low. Okay, we're expecting this to go a little lower. If you think this trade, you should have closed it. Because when you see this consolidation going on here, that means it might not drop. We're actually back at the top, and I still think there was a possibility we get this move down. Pong yen, let's see. Pong Swiss. It came down, so we can look for the buy setup, right? So we wanted this to come down. This to come down, you get a 1, a 2, and a 3. Now we look for the buy setup like this. I think the news could give you a good buy setup. You want to maybe some 20 pips above this and then wait for the trade. 20 pips, you could probably put it above the top even if you want, but I don't like that idea. I like the idea of getting it from here. That should be enough. Let me see. That is 11.10 to 11.19, 11.20, 11.30. Maybe put it above the top. That's the best option. So if this takes off, we get the trade. So this Pong card would be a buy. That is Pong Swiss, sorry. Pong New Zealand. This is what we have in the 4 hours. So this can totally drop as a correction. This stands alone. This could totally drop. And then maybe we go back up or downside. We'll see. But if you get a flag here, that could be a buy. So we don't really have a flag. We have a move down, but no flag. So we kind of get this move down. So let's see, if you have to put anything here, the best thing would be to put a sell. Although I think the sell would not trigger, right? And if you want to put a buy, you have to put it above the top here. So we catch the Pong card. Pong card is going, put an entry above top. Aussie Swiss. Sell setup, I think we got this. This is easy. It could go back one time more. Aussie yen, I think we finished that. Aussie yen going up, look, go for the buy. Yeah, keep it above the top. I think we have enough to keep it there, right? So should this go, this would be a good trade. Aussie CAD. It's coming down, but that's exactly what you need for the flat. You need it to come here, and then we're going for a buy. Put an entry above the top. So this could be an active buy. Now it has to come down a little more, and then that's an active buy. I'll change it to an active buy. We'll just wait for it to come down a little more. Aussie, New Zealand. Okay, we can leave the entry order above the top there. Should this go, it's pretty deep. I don't think we really don't like it that deep, but we're at the bottom, so that's a good trade. All right, so this would be a buy. New Zealand CAD, you should already be in the trade. You can put it to break even and keep it, or you can exit and re-enter. Whatever you choose is going to be the right thing. There's no right answer to that. New Zealand yen. Don't trade this because we would like this to drop first and then look for the buy setup. New Zealand Swiss. Okay, this is starting to look downside, but we really don't have a good trade in the New Zealand to downside. So I think we're going to keep an eye. I don't think Swiss could drop that much, but with an entry somewhere in the middle. Somewhere, either we get a flag here or under this one. All right, so we can set it under this low. Last impulse up, or we get a flag first, whichever comes. So this is an active buy. Sorry, Canadian. Canadian is upside. This one is dropping. It looks like it's going to drop one more. But if it goes up more, you wanted to break out of this structure and then look for buy. Yeah, that's it. Cat Swiss. Downside, you should be in this trade. And I think we know where this trade is going. So you can put that to break even and stay with it. I wouldn't be surprised if the news drive it much more down. I mean, if you take a loss, if you take a break even, then that's no big deal. Put it to break even and, trade. Swiss yen. Okay, this is already upside. Okay. I think if you get a pullback like that, that would be a perfect flat for upside. You just need a pullback now. Any pullback would be a buy setup. Can we sell it? Well, depends on if you get a sell from the top here. What else we have? And Aussie CAD. Sorry, Aussie gold. It will probably drop some. Just leave it alone. Let it drop, and then we look for the upside. Okay, Miguel, thanks for taking, but I wouldn't know which one. Yeah, I just saw the chat actually. So that is for those. I'm going to go through these really fast because we just need to know the trade. Yep, this has a sell setup here. If it goes much higher, we'll take it off. If it goes any higher for that matter, we'll take it off. But watch this. It can go higher than that. If it goes there, we take it off, but this is a trade to the downside. US oil. Well, I think you can put it to break even. Let's see how high this goes back up. Right? If you close the trade already for some profit, good for you. All right? If you close the trade, you'll have to close it somewhere here on the way up. Otherwise, try to put the stop here and wait to see if you get breaking. Wait to see if you get that's it. This drop, put it at break even, because if they go back up, you would want to be out of the trade. Let's put it like this. Put it at break even. Because if it goes back up sharp, you don't want to be the trade. It's going to be a bigger flag. It's still going to drop, but it's going to make a bigger one, right? So if this reversed here, that means you get a bigger correction here, and then you drop. This will be the impulse. That will be the correction. That will be a better sell. Something like this, right? Small one, small one, small one. Drop, make a bigger one, go down there, right? So let's expect it to make a bigger one. Take the break even. That's not what you're trading it for. You're trading it for the drop, right? So if it doesn't go, take break even, and then let's see if we get a bigger drop. Okay, this one would have been a break even. I think we actually did the same thing in the room. That worked well. This one worked well, and this one worked well. Those were in lower time. I'm only 4 hours, right? So this was a 15 minutes one here. This one stopped. That went well. It's going up. Let's see if it's ready for the upside. Good, is the same. Let's see this. Well, this is going up as expected. We're expecting this. To go up one more, I'm not sure if you get a trade, if that's a good idea, right, to the upside. And then most likely it's going to come back. S&P 500 upside. Okay, it's a buy setup. You can get one more impulse up. Put an entry here and get one more impulse up. That's about it. It could go higher, right? I mean, this could be one impulse. It could go higher and then come back. Expanding flats still exist. NASDAQ, buy, but this one is very limited. We're only expecting this to come to the top and then right down back. So I think we have covered the ones we need to trade in the news. I will take a look at a few more. For example, I think some of you are in DAX. Okay, it's going up now. Wait for the buy. You can put an entry. If you're not in the buy already, you have an entry above the top. Wait for a sell setup here. This one needs to go back up. Come here, go back up and give you a sell. All right, that'd be a sell setup. And Nifty. Okay, Nifty is going up some more. So probably wait for this. It's pretty sharp. I think we take the trade and see how far it goes. Put the entry above the top. It's an incomplete flag. Once it's complete, you can take the trade. We're going to do some cryptos, maybe with 4 of them, and then you tell me what else you want. That's a sell setup. I think it's pretty clear. Once this break that top, you can move this entry into that there for the sell. I think this one is clear, downside. This looks upside. I see this, it's kind of this, but it still looks upside. So don't trade it, leave it alone. ADA, sorry, wrong one, BNB. This is downside, it still has more to go. That's to drop to this, and ADA, I think is pretty much the same thing. This could drop a little more, but it looks upside. The bigger picture is upside, but watch this. See? So that looks like this could literally drop. It could work its way up first and then drop, but that's what it looks like right now. So sorry, 1 hour. BNB we did already. Dash. Dash is also downside. And downside. It's just an incomplete flat. I think you can see that. You need this to come back here. You need it to go back up and then drop. And let's see. AVA. Upside. This is the only one that has an upside structure. And I think this one also has an upside structure. See, this could go up. So that's it. We finish everything. Here's where we're going to do news coming up exactly in 15 minutes. I'll go through the majors again for those of you who just joined. And then we're going to go from there, right? So let's go. Dollar index. This should come down. It is already coming down. I'm not sure how far it is going to drop, but the trade setup we have is a sell. All right, this has been coming down already. So we've got this up, put it like this. Take it out, we don't need it now. So we can make an argument that that was a running flat. And this is coming down. Well, now let's see what happens here. Any flag you can sell. It's not a big trade. It's probably one drop more like this. And then we'll be in the upside, right? We'll be in this. That only changes if this actually drop a lot, right? Then that changes everything. You can put an entry here for the sell. Silver, it's kind of making a flag here, which is curious because this flag is downside. And can it drop? And should we put this as the flag? I think we can. There's a strong probability for that. And since this one is kind of looking downside, put it on 20 pips, maybe under the low. I know this call for a big stop, but the reward to the downside is huge if it drops, right? You don't want to miss the drop. But taking it inside here is kind of, dangerous because it can actually tag you here and then do this and then drop. And that would be perfect. So sell setup. There's a flag forming here. I'm not sure that flag wouldn't do anything, but if we're in this kind of a pattern, some people call it triangle. I think it's more of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is dropping, put an end short under the low. Rather than that, when we put in short under here and see how far that drops. Euro USD. That's a perfect pattern if it comes down and then go. If it takes off from here, we'll buy. So I think it should drop here first and then go. We really don't have a sell setup, but what if it keeps going up? See, this is kind of very slow. And once we hit this top, as a matter of fact, you're looking for this one up, right? Just straight up. So all they need to do is break that up and they break it. It's broken. So downside possible. And we might be looking for this one now. Come on, down. Okay, it can go down from here. I'm not sure we want the sell. We would want to buy. The sell is very short. If you put an entry for the sell, you have to put it here. And this is about all it can do before it goes back up. So if you want to put the sell, great. The buy, we don't have it as yet. If this is going to take off, put the buy above the top. You can actually leave a buy entry there. Like literally leave that entry. Should it take off? You can also put a second entry for this sell. Or during the news, leave this because you're not going to get it. So put the buy during the news. We're going to take this out and put it as a buy during the news. Aussie, I think a sell is a good idea. We just need to decide where to put it. So let's take off this one and put the entry somewhere here. We'll have to go somewhere at 0.8. So you have to put the end shorter that distance away from that if you want the drop, right? We're coming to tag this, so that's a good sell. New Zealand, I'll put this as an active sell and change it after the news. New Zealand could go for a sell too. It should go up first. I think you really want this to actually go back up first and then come down. So the buy setup here is not a bad idea. Let's go with this as a counter and use it as a buy. I think we have 20 pips there. Yen. Yen has two trades. Two ways you can treat this. You can treat this as a buy or as a sell. The buy looks much better now because it's going up already. This piece here, let's take this off. This would be all the consolidation. And this is going. So let's put this as a separate one. We stay with the buy. I like the buy idea. Right, so that's 98. You have to go somewhere around 18 would be better. Give that a 20 if you want. Right, Swiss. Okay, it almost broke the low, so they have to go some more. And we can put an entry there for a buy. Because the move to the upside is huge. If they do this first and then do that, we'll still get that trade. If they do that and come here, we're not interested in that. CAD, this is a buy. And buy setup. See, this already pulled back. It can go lower, but it pulled back, so go with the buy. All right, we'll make the assumption that it's still going because we don't have any sell setups. So now set your trades up. That is for my traders. If you're one of the viewers in YouTube and you're not sure what we're doing, just wait, give us like 10 minutes more and then we'll figure it out for you. We'll tell you. You know the direction we're going, but you don't know the rules to it, right? Oil can start bigger correction for next level waves. Not sure what wave you're talking about, like which level, which one. That's a whole different thing. So let's stick with the trade we want for today, for now. Aussie yen, we don't really trade them during the news, during the dollar news. Afterwards, we come back and look at it, but I can tell you what it's doing. Aussie yen, it's probably going to go up. Right? This looks upside. Of course, sometimes you can watch this as a flag, as here, and assume they're going to come here and then go, but not every time. So if it has to come down, let it come down, and then you go for the buy again. We have 7 more minutes, so I'm going to put it in one of the majors. And we can wait. Which one you guys want? I think the yen is more interesting to everybody right now. So let's put it in the yen. You can actually bring this up if you want. 20 pips below that is going to be 79, 99. Perfect. 20 pips. This one is 20 pips away. So that's good. 98, put it at 20, exactly at 20. So you don't have to worry very much as long as it's there. So put your trades on, let's go. Okay, let me see which trades I want to go with. I like the silver sell. I definitely want the silver sell. Should this drop, I want the trade. But I'm not going to sell it inside the consolidation. I know it would be better to sell inside the consolidation here, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the news they actually do that and then drop it. Right? If that happens, I'll have an entry order here. And if that happens, I'll move that entry order up here and see if I can get a trade from here. Right? So I'll put an entry order. That is for the big trade to the downside. So silver. That is 20.66. And for the opposite trade, I don't know. Euro probably. Or a yen buy, CAD buy, for example, is not a bad one. Should this drop, the CAD is going to go up. So CAD buy may be a good idea. No, you have to look for a counter. So I have to look for a sell. That is going to be, yen sell would be a good idea. Or Aussie sell. I like the Aussie sell. You can actually come closer to this and put it like that. The Aussie sell is not a bad idea. I think this can drop. That's not countering this silver for me. For me, I'll have to use another one. Okay, let's see. Euro buy, that's probably the best option. And that's not an option. This one is already doing. Assume that this broke the top, right? It's already went up where we want it. So you can make an assumption you have 1, 2, 3, and that means this is finished. It just has to come down one more here and then go back up. Maybe so. This is not going to go here. I don't think this is, come on. I think we'll see a drop here and then upside. So if you want to buy it, you have to wait for it to come down a little more. You still have 3 minutes. We don't have a lot of time. So go to the euro. If you're going to put the euro buy has to be somewhere here. Let's see how much. That is how much. 0.517. You have to be like 37. Yeah, about there for the buy. Should this take off? So let's see. I think we put it on the yen. The yen is the one everybody wants. Put it here, go 1 minute. So my traders, you're all set. Let's go. In 2 minutes, we're gonna know what happens. So YouTube viewers, please bear with us for 2 minutes. And after that, we'll go back to normal trading, right? The selling silver inside the flag. If you sold it, then you can put it to break even. Now, not a bad idea. If you can't put it to break even, I can't tell you what to do a trade, but normally we would close a trade that we can put in the break even before a news event. And afterwards, you can go back and take the same trade if nothing happens. And if it moves, you'd be happy if it moved. And if it moves in your against you, then I'll be happier to take it off. If you think it's going to still go in your direction, put another entry order. So I still think silver is going to fall. So I have a sell. In a minute, we'll know. Most times nothing happens. About 80% of the time when there's a news event, nothing happens. Okay, there's a small reaction. That is not much of a reaction. And it's pulling back already. So let's see silver. Yep, nothing here. Don't put the entry just above the top. We have specific place we put these entries in case it doesn't go. In this case, in the next minute, if it doesn't tag or so, we're taking it off. So the sell for this is off. The buy is still valid, which means if then the next minute it takes off like a rocket, the buy would be valid. After the next minute, the strategy is over. The momentum strategy is where we go back to normal trading. So we wait until this minute is finished and then we go back. Okay, we can clearly say this is a non-event. It's like nothing gonna happen anymore, right? So we go right back to normal trading. Come on, I just want this candle to close so we can, yep, that's it. So go back to the 15 minutes. Take this out. Take this out. And let's start with the dollar index. Dollar index. Okay, this could still go up some more. This share it's not coming down as yet, so we'll wait to see if it actually goes higher and then come down. Right, this could go there. If it's coming down like this, that is useless unless you break through the low to go. And this is a big drop. But right now it looks like they can, this thing can go back up like this and then come down. So let's wait. We really don't have a trade set up there. Let's see, silver, still a sell. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually go break the top because we really expect them to break that up. So I wouldn't be surprised if this go break the top. Can we buy it? Yeah, you can put an entry here. This is 60-minute trade. This has nothing to do with momentum anymore. Should this go break the top, the trade will be put an entry here and buy. That's a short-term trade to break this top, right? And if we break that top, if they do go and break the top, then we look for the sell. If it makes a flag here, we'll sell it. So if we end up with a flag here, we can sell the flag inside the correction. But it has to be a really good flag because you would want to make sure you can get break even out of it, right? So that is. So we can turn this into an aggressive buy. I'll leave this sell setup because the bigger picture is the sell. Same thing with gold. We kind of, consolidating in this range. This one didn't make a small flag. It did break. Is it going to go back up and retest the top before they drop, or they're going to drop here? So you can keep the entry order here should it drop, right? The only problem with this entry order here is you might be even better to keep it under the low. Because what you don't want to happen is you don't want this to come just enough here and go back up attack it. So in any case, this seller is going to be careful, right? Because anytime you get a contraction like that, there's a good chance they can go break the top and then come back. Euro. Okay, so it's coming down now. We actually complete this one. I think we can make an argument for that. So we want this move down. We can take it from here. I think I would have put it like this. 1, 2, 3. This one is, I'm not sure why it's so slow. Expected to come in a fast move like this and then upside. So let's see. Can we sell this? I think we ignore it. Just wait for it to come. We'll put an entry order here to buy. Or if we get a flag on the way up, right? If we get a flag on the way up, that would be a better buy. So the sell right now is not a great sell, although there is a kind of a sell setup here. We expect this to come here and then go right back up. So let's see. Bang. Let it come here and then we're going to go up. Let it come here and then we start to look for the trade. Okay, let's see. Aussie. Go for the sell. New Zealand. I'm really not liking this one. We'll put an entry order above this one and see if it goes and how far it goes. So that is a buy setup. This is a buy. The Aussie is a sell. Yen. Both ways decide which one you want. I wouldn't consider this big picture upside. It's moving really slow, so it might just do that and then start coming down. So if you're going to take the trade, be careful. It's a buy set. It's a buy setup here right now. The buy for the upside, we can take the buy, but it's pretty risky if you put an entry above the stop. And let's see if they go. If they don't go within an hour 2 times, you'll have to keep it under 15 minutes and take trade. Swiss. Nope, this has to go some more down because we didn't break this low either. So let this do this and come here and then look for the buy. Got it? We still stay with the buy for now. Take this off. If this comes down slowly like this, right, with these small pullback, small pullback, small pullback, and we get a flag here, we'll take this off and we'll definitely go for the sell. I'm more inclined to believe they're going to come down and make that flag for us rather than go up. So we'll see. Euros. If you're tagged, you work to take it off and then re-enter. If this consolidates here, you can go for a sell. If this consolidates here, you can go for a sell setup here. Let me take out the buy. And that would be a drop, a flat that went so back to the top, drop another flat. This could take a while. I don't think it's finished, but you can put the entry order for the sell. So we put an entry order here for sell. Let's see Euro also again. Let's see. It could come down one more, but we don't have setups. Euro CAD coming down deep. So if you close the trade, like I said, if you close it, you have your entry above the top, great. That's what we call trade management. And that's what we do very often, right? I think a lot of you ask me why we close the trade. Well, this is the reason why you close the trade. Because if it's not going now, then what all it will do is make a deeper correction, right? It's going to come here, make a deeper correction, and then go. Right? These are just small corrections within this up move. Then you get a bigger one, and then they go. See? Don't do anything. We don't have anything in that now. So we actually ran through all of them. I think we finished all of them. And now we wait. You tell me which other trade setups you want, what is happening right now. And they go, gold is breaking. Yes, let's go. If I have the silver, not the gold sell, right? Then I have it from the bottom because I don't want to sell this piece in here. Right? As long as we're in here, this could go back up. Gold broke out. So if you're in the gold sell, right? If you're in the gold sell from the bottom, just keep an eye on it because we didn't break the top. So it's a contracting flat. All contracting flats in the future can become running flats and then go. Running flat means it's just going to come back to about here and then drop. Right? This could still be a running flat. And keep that in mind. So for the news, if you're tagged, this we're going to use in the news and CFR. If you're tagged here and they don't go in an hour or two, better to take a trade off. Don't keep it. Because that's the thing about contracting flats that they can come, just break the low and then go back up and now you have a running flat. If it makes a flag now, that would be amazing. I think pound drop euro is coming. Euro is coming down for that one, for the buy. It's coming down to here, and then we get a perfect buy setup. Pound is coming down strong, let's see. So we're going to pull this down to here, and we're going to look for this trade down. See this? So it should be similar to that. And then upside. So we can wait for it to come there and then go for the buy. See? Patterns do work, right? Exactly how you want them to work. So we'll take out all the internal one. We don't really need them anymore. We need this one to come here. Now you have an impulse, you have a flat, and let's go for the next one. It just needs to break this low, but it can go further. So if you're about to get a buy on the euro, we're about to get a buy on the pound. Be careful of the sell on the Aussie. Be careful of the sell on the gold. If you're in the gold sell, you want to make sure that if it doesn't go within this hour or the next hour, take it off, break even. Natural gas, let's see. So what we can do while we're waiting is I can take some questions. Natural gas, perfect sell setup. Got a nice sell setup. It came back pretty high, but it's still a sell. If you can get it from, if you get a small flag here, let's see. No, nothing. But if it does make a small flag in here, that would be great. So let's say they come like this, and then they start to do that. Take this sell, like this one here, right? Take this sell. By the time it breaks this low here, get this to positive and see whether it's going to go back up or whether it's going to drop. NASDAQ, let's see. $15 minutes as an expanding flat in here. Possible. We could also look at it as a possibility that this is the top because this was the correction, right? If we take this as the correction, and that went back and broke the top, that could be the top, and now we're coming down. Can we look at this as the pattern? Let's say it comes from there. Can we take this as a contracting flat and go with it? In that case, if it makes a flag here, sell. If it doesn't make a flag, assume they can go back up. I get your thought process, and an expanding flat is possible. So what would negate the expanding flat? You could put an entry here for the buy for this one, but if it's not an expanding flat, any flag here becomes a sell to the downside. Like you get a flag like this, go for it. It might be break even, but sometimes they go. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Can we consider buy limit order on the Euro USD? On the Euro USD, no, but on the Pong, I'm thinking about it. Not that I wanted to do that here, but on the Pong, anyway, that is in our the Pong. That might be a good idea because of this sharp impulse here, and all the consolidation is at the top there. So the Pong, it's a better idea to do that. Put it here. A little under that. You can go for the 270 if you want, but I would say put it a little before the 270, just be sure. And then we'll manage our way in that one, right? That's just for the very, very aggressive traders. Don't do it if you're not an aggressive trader. Right? Can we consider, the Euro? No. Euro has too many pieces in it. Say Euro has a lot of pieces. It has this, it has that. But Pong doesn't have. Pong has one single impulse. So it's a better idea. Let's go. What else are we looking for? NASDAQ 15 minute, I think we did that already, right? Expanding flat, let me see. I think we looked at it already. 15 minutes expanding flat. This piece, yeah, we looked at that already. What else are you looking for? Sell setup on Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin had a sell setup. Bitcoin has a sell setup. So as of now, you keep it here. But if this is to break the top, if this is to go break that top, you can move it to this one. And better yet, get a flag from here to go. Right? That depends on how aggressive and whether you get the setup. So let's go. What are the trades you're looking at? What are the things? Pong is starting to pull back, but I don't think that this is just a normal pullback before they actually go lower. Right? Because we haven't broken this lows yet. So I do think this might be just, they always pull back, do a little pullback, then drop, and then go. We really wanted to break the low first. Wouldn't that be a shame if it goes up from there without breaking the low? Missing what we were looking for. Did we break the low? No, we didn't. We didn't even tag it. We came close, but we didn't tag it. So if it makes one more drop, you'd be in the trade. Keep it here. So if you get another drop, you'll be right to be ready in the trade for the upside. Okay. Anything else? You still have setups that are going. Yen pairs are pulling back, which is normal. Watch the yen, watch all the yen pairs. That pullback is normal. Dollar yen is pulling back a little, but that is a normal pullback, right? The entry above the top is still good. If this is going to go retest the low, you see we broke that top, right? So if this is going to go retest the low, it has to come here, make a flag, and then we'll sell it. Right, this. If this wants to go retest the low, it has to come here, make a flag like this, and then we sell it. Something like this. So right now, nothing. Take this off for now. The pound is the one we really don't want to miss too, because the setup is good. Patience. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take some questions while we wait. Any questions you guys have? NASDAQ are running flat. What time frame? We looked at the 15 just now. So that is gone. We broke the top on it already. We'll talk about this. And coming here, it will be an expanding flat. We have to keep it like this for now, because it did break that up. It's an expanding flat or running flat is going to go back up. Is it worth to sell the Euro USD? Not where it is. Why you want to sell it there? I give it for a little more downside. I think that's a really short trade. Let me see. Well, it's a small trade. Here's what you can do. If this makes a flag here, right? If this gives you a flag here, then you can take this flag with a stop here and, go hope that they go a little lower than this, because we didn't break the top. Hope that it comes beyond this point. That is, if you take this one here and you put it like this, right? This is the equivalent. And if you put it from where it actually stops to go, then it could come a little lower like this. So that could be a trade if this actually stays here. That could be a trade. Let's see. What else? Tell me what else you guys looking at. Okay, so you're still in the cat. This one is good. This will go a lot. Cat Swiss, right? This will go quite a lot. So you're in on this one from this 6 to what? 6 to 7. You're in from this one still. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Let me pull this for you. You're gonna keep track of this channel, of what this is doing here, right? See that sharp pullback? If this starts to make a flag here, you might want to take profit from this trade and consider a buy for a deeper move up. If this comes back here and start to do this here, then yeah, it's more downside. See? So we can gauge what this is going to do there. I still think it's much more downside, so it's going to probably drop. So quick recap from this morning. Eurocat trading, all the trades, the 4 trades that we had this morning, all of them were positive. I think 1 or 2 you could have taken out for break even, but very small profit. And 2 of them were good. You could have taken profit if you want. Right? So worst case, if you did nothing, you got 4 break even trades. You didn't lose anything. That's the worst case scenario you had. Right? You should have closed them in front of the news, and that would have given you some profit. This afternoon, because of the news, we have setups, but we really don't have trade. You're only tagged in the gold trade, I think, right? The gold trade is the only trade from the setups we have that you're tagged in. And I want you to monitor this very carefully, because if this doesn't go in this hour, if this one is not breaking the low, take it off, wait for a flag. Right? If this is not breaking the low and go, wait, and it stays here, wait for this to make a flag. Take off the trade, put an entry under the low for the next drop. Because it's not a fact that they're going to drop from here. They might even retest the top. Can you go over majors before you leave? Yeah, we'll do that before I leave. Still early. Tell me what else you want to look for before I go. So you know, you have the setups, you know what to do with them, right? I still think there might be more upside, right? I'll tell you the ones I'll focus on. I want this trade to the upside because it's a simple trade, not a complex trade, right? And because we're so low in this bigger structure, there is actually no telling how strong and how far up this can go. Right? There's no telling. I'm just assuming it's going to do that and then drop. What if I'm wrong? It could do this. See? If there's a bigger move to go in that thing and you have a trade for that direction, always take it. Because that is where it's going to go. So go back to the 1 hour. Don't miss the trade. I don't care how you have to find an entry in it, find an entry. Don't just buy it though. It's going to tag you and go all over the place. This one candle doesn't mean anything. They pull back all over, right? Like all over, all these candles. Look, if you're scared and you closed on that red candle, you know, just stay with the trade. Let's see if it comes. We were trying to buy it from somewhere here. We'll see if we get that. Break the low and then. So I'm going to go through the majors. I'm going to look at somebody with NASDAQ. You'll tell me what the trades you want to look at before we close Zoom. So let's go to dollar index. I like the sell, but it has to go up some more. So I want to see this go at least a little more there and then go for the sell. If it's coming down from here, we'll still look for a sell setup, but that would be a little messy. You'll still want the flag here to sell, but that might be a too small a flag and not the best trade setup. Silver. I like the sell, but like I said, we're putting a buy in it because I do think this could go back up here and then drop. Right, this one had correction here and correction here. So the correction itself in this impulse is not a problem. Right? This was a correct. You add that, you get this, you get that, you drop. Now, this is the top of the first impulse. So the expectation that this go break that up. Doesn't necessarily have to. That's the expectation that can go break that. What if this starts to drop and it's going to drop to the bottom? Of course, we're going to go with this as a contracting flag. Since we didn't take this flag, all we need is a flag here. And that would be a sell setup. Gold. We broke the low, but this, like I said, this could be a running flat. It could be this, and they go back to the top here, and then drop. Right? A possible running flat exists. So I'll put it like this. Why running flat? Because, well, this right now is a contracting flat. If any one of this, if this had broken the top and we're coming down, only sells. Simply because we didn't break the top, you have to be cautious. Okay, let's go. Euro. It's going back up, so let's see if we're going to get, if it's going to come back here a little so we get the buy setup. Pound dollar, same thing. Aussie. Okay, if Aussie goes back up and decide to go up, we'll get a buy setup on it. That's just going back really strong. New Zealand definitely could be a buy here because you could go with this as a flat. I like the New Zealand buy. That could be a good trade. All right, so New Zealand, we got to buy yen. Okay, it's coming down back. So let's see if we still get this sell. This might still be the pattern. All right, nothing has changed. It just made a three-wave structure and go down. You need a sell. So here's what you can do. You can aggressively put a sell here. I mean, that's a really aggressive trade because you might not get a flag, which means if it drops, it's going to drop without a flag and come all the way here. And you might not get a flag. So the sell will be there. Use that entry order. If it tags you and start to make a flag, we'll close it and re-enter. I like it. Let's see. Price 48.79. Okay, that's it. Cat cell setup. Thank you. Let's go take a look. It's a little small, but if you want to take it, it's okay. That's a little small, but it's a nice 50-minute flag. If it does a couple more, I like that, but it break even, and then see if it actually does make a big one or if it keeps going. This could go on forever too, right? Those small ones, it could go on for like 10 of those. You'll put it to break even and you'll wait. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna go to YouTube. Tell me what questions you guys have. Any questions? Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is the last day for these free. If you would like to join us, send me a Skype message and I'll give you all the details. We have a course, live course coming up in mid-November. Traders are already joining. At least 2 people joined the full course. And some people are interested in the installment program, which means if you start now, you'll be in the group by mid next year. You will still have access to the live sessions to trade it. Okay, if no questions, set your trade up. You know how to manage your trade, and let's wait. If the yen makes a flag before it tags us, we'll trade the flag, right? If it makes a 50-minute flag before we get tagged on the sell side, right? If this doesn't tag here, but instead make a small flag, I think we'll take the small flag. So if it stops right where it is and make something like this, we'll sell that, stop here, target at the bottom. This is what it will look like. It will look like a move down, a target flag here, put an entry here, stop above the top. Any questions, any charts, anything you guys want to look at? Don't forget to share those videos we have, like them, comment on them. Anything you can do to make it being sent to more traders, that would be a good thing. And thank you for your support. Okay, then if no more questions and nothing else, I'll go trade with care. We can sit here and watch it tag, but then when it tag, you still need 2 hours before we make a decision, and so there'll be no point, right? Sitting and watching it. NASDAQ and Euro Swiss, let's see. I think we just did NASDAQ like 10 times. Right? Nothing has changed within that period. Okay, so it's pulling back. If it's pulling back, put this like this. Wait for a buy above this top, and then it's only going to be like one more up, right? So if this goes, let's say this is one big flat here, and this goes back above the top, it's going to be just one move like that before they come down. So you have to decide if you want that. But once we get to that top and we break this top, look for the sell setup. If it makes a flag here, sell it. I'll still put this like that until we break that. But if this turns out to be a flag here, trade that down. Hope it makes sense. Euro Swiss. Let's go to Euro Swiss. This will drop a little more, right? You want this one to drop a little more here, and then you can look for this trade up. You want it to break this low, and then go look for that trade up. Right, so the pullback itself is irrelevant. They always pull back. And ARB USDT. Let's go. Okay, this one looks interesting. This is gonna go lower. You're actually getting a flag here for the downside. See, this is kind of making a correction, not a flag, it's making a correction here. And then go back there, and then you're going to get this. And then you can look for this straight to break the low. And after that, you can look for upside. So there's a sell setup to come first, and then downside, then upside. If you can short it, you short it. If you can't short it, then you just wait for it to break the low and go. So, okay, guys, with that, I would leave you. If you're tagged in any of these trades that we haven't showed, remember it'll still be about 3 hours. So there's no point sitting here. We'll have to sit for 4 or 5 hours before we can make a decision on those trades. Right? CAD sell setup. It's a really small flag, but yeah, you can. It's making a flag now, I think. Yeah, that should be. It's making a bigger one now, I think. Let me go back to CAD again. Yeah, we're kind of making a bigger one here now on the 15. Let me see. Yeah, perfect. That would be a sell setup. Let it stay for, if it gives you a couple more candle here, that would be perfect. Right, if this gives you a couple more candle here, that would be perfect for the sell. It's a small one, you can put the entry now. And then wait to see if it becomes a bigger one. Sell setup. So guys, I'm going to leave you. Trade with care. Our traders, you can still use the trading room, right? So everybody trade with care. Catch up with you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day for the YouTube viewers to get in live sessions that we normally do. If you would like to join us, let me know. You'll get it every day after that. And we'll see you 8 a.m., 7:45 a.m. tomorrow morning, London time. Take care. Trade with care. Bye.